All right. All right. Gotta mute you. Hey, kids. How's it going? Sorry, I am a little late. I am kind of all over the place, and I've had a bit of a week. So hold on. Uh, uh. All right. Let's see here. Beep, beep. There we go. Made it. Oh, lordy, lordy. It has been a week. Let's see. I'm recovering from being sick, so I do apologize for being a little late and a little all over the place. Let's see. And let's see. I'm trying to pull up. There you go. My notes that I had. All right. There you go. And welcome to Zio, or is it pronounced Gio? I do apologize. Let's see. Either way, let's see. But that is an awesome name, regardless. Jomar Reyes. Let's see. If you do, if you will humor me, I am pulling up the notes you sent me for the commission. There we go. Let's see. As I mentioned, a little all over the place. All right. Let's see. CO, thank you. Absolutely. Thank you. I'd hate to be I'd hate to be saying it wrong all this time. All right. Well, thank you, CO, for the awesome commission request, and I'm thrilled that we get to have you aboard to watch it come to life. Let's see, and this way you also get to have input, thing along the way. And if I can spell. All right. Let's see. There we go. All right. Got our canvas. We got putting up the illustration layers there. All right. Let's see. And so CO has very kindly provided me with a bunch of reference for the character, and interestingly, this will be the first character I've ever done with Vitiglio spots. So I'm looking forward to trying something a little new. Let's see. Well, let's see here. We also have this. Let's see. I'm going to let's see. I meant to have all this reference pulled up ahead of time. Let's see. But because I am just a chicken with his head cut off this morning. Let's see. I appreciate your patience. As I mentioned, I've been sick. The good news, Concrete Arcanum books are in. So I'm scrambling to get that. So that's awesome. I'm scrambling to get that fulfilled before the holiday. But I'm also, like I said, I'm also a little bit all over the place. So let's see. As we are wanted to do in most of these things, I think we're going to start with a cool pose. Why are we gonna? Oh, I see. Let's see. Figure out our pose first. So as I mentioned, CO has sent me lots of good reference for this character. But you know, it's always about the pose is always kind of where it's at. So I think I'm gonna do something like, let's see. Pull that. Let's see. And just getting this the mannequin going here. Yeah. A little bit of the contrapposto. So we got a mid. So this is starting to feel like a mid stride kind of thing. Proportions are all kind of goofy right now, but we'll get to that. Let's see it. All right, there we are. Okay, settling in. We're good. All right. So I think we're gonna do like a cheeky, maybe like requested that she's holding 2 potions. So I think we're gonna do maybe a cheeky little holding 1 potion, kind of like like so, and maybe the other. What? Maybe a bit like that. Let's see, you got cute little rat familiar. Hello. Yeah, it's funny. I actually used to have pet rats when I was a younger man slash boy, whatever you want to call somebody who's in junior high. And fun fact, that's how I found out I was allergic to rats. So lovely pets, very affectionate, very fun. Just unfortunately, they make my throat close up. So yes, well, let's see. Do. So yeah, gonna get that pose going. Got kind of the as I mentioned, kind of the contrapposto thing happening here. Love the hair. Let's see. And I do have to say, if CO has kind of done this exactly right for like, sending me a character request. Like the photo reference that I've been getting is just spot on. And yeah, it's like the more specificity, the better. Is usually how it goes. Let's see. I got the dress. So with a poofy sleeve dress. Everybody loves a good poofy sleeve dress. Cinch. And then let's see. And we're gonna add like a little bit of a wind blowing action here, just because it's more interesting than just stuff falling straight. wrong button. Hey, back to Kickstarter. Let's see. CEO says, for some context, I backed a Kickstarter by this person called Brie Moore from N8 Inc. Publishing. The series is called The Plague King Chronicles. Her name is Fiametta Tofana, and she appears in book 2. Very cool. Let's say. And good for you for backing stuff on N8 Inc. Publishing. I will have to look that up. And yeah, if you do, what's that? If you do like it, let's say, I do hope you will share it with the author. Let's see. This is so let's see. Character in the photos has a more serious vibe, and this let's see, the way the face is shaping up just now is, let's see, looks a little happy. Like it's a happy face, because he's got like the little half moons here and stuff like that. So, I'm getting the sense that maybe she's a bit more, how should we say, a bit more of a stoic character. So I don't know. So CEO knows this better than I do. So I'm going to defer to them. Let's see. There we go. Yeah. Personality is slow to warm up. Good to know. See, those are the little details. So we're going to scrap this part. Let's see. Gonna get a smaller pencil here. And we're gonna switch to maybe a bit of a side eye kind of a thing going on. Let's see here. There we go. So, eyes are not exactly in the right place, but this is a warm-up. This is just the sketch phase. And that's why we do what we do. This is why, at least I start here. I know there are some mad geniuses that can go straight to inking from the get-go, but I am not that person. So just the tilt of the head a little bit. There we go. Get the fingers going there. Flesh out that pose a little bit. Gonna bring the hand into proportion a little bit. I don't know what it is about. It's just so easy to unconsciously make hands and heads just a little too big. Alright, and let's see. So I see she has gloves in this photo. What do you think, CEO? Gloves or no gloves? Or gloves it is. Yeah. The rat's name is Mortimer. I love it. That's adorable. Okay. With that done, I think we have a solid sketch going on here. So, with that done, away we'll step into. I know it's pretty loose just yet, but see if there's anything you'd want to tweak at this point. Let me know. I own a pet, but they're not. They are one of my, They are very sweet. They are very sweet creatures. I'm a little sad that I can't. I'm a little. They are one that I would consider getting for my daughters if I weren't, as I mentioned, terribly allergic. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, I had good memories. I had two rats. The only other ding against them is, my goodness, they do not live nearly long enough. Let's see, only about 2 years, I believe, is the average lifespan. So yeah, they love you, and then they just break your heart. Or you love them, and then you just, yeah. Let's see. So yeah, a little bit. Let's say I had one named. First one was named Jack, and the other one was named Thor. Just because I thought that was funny. Now let's see, dude. And I remember they'd like come up and they lick my hand and my fingers, and they enjoyed exploring my room. I should have gotten Thor a little hammer. I did not think of that. Go back and let's see. Go back and tell my 14-year-old self that. Let's see. He did have a lot of cardboard tubes. Did not. It really has really neither here nor there, or has anything to do with Norse mythology. But but that rat loved cardboard tubes. uh, I hope so. I don't know. Do you suppose rats look at bats and say, "Oh, look, an angel"? I don't know, but I hope so. That is what I want now. Uh, let's see. I don't know. Not liking this chin, so I'm gonna tweak this a little bit. There you go. That's a skeptical face, right? There you go. Like, what do you want? I had a pet ferret. He was all right. Yes, I'm sure he did his best. Mm-hmm. Destroyed a lot of things. I'd rather he hadn't destroyed that. I am given to understand that is the way of ferrets. Unfortunately. Dude ate gloves. Yeah. Yeah. From what I understand, ferrets are fun in theory, less so in practice. I dated a guy who had two ferrets. They are interesting. Yeah. They are not as really okay. Now that surprises me. That ferrets aren't as soft as you think. Go to clearly drive in front of my. There you go. There you go. They are. See, everybody picks on the gloves, but they're like handy for poking your phone when it's cold out. Into a guy. Oh, he had a ferret in the local Walmart. Okay, that's interesting. That's it. I'm surprised they let him in the door, but also, Walmart people probably don't get paid enough to care, so. That's it. Pocket weasel. uh, hey, okay, that's good. Yeah. Aw. Well, that's kind of sweet. Okay, they went. Yeah. Okay, in fairness, that's a lot of pets. Also, children. Let's see. You put up with the cute. You put up with the you put up with the destruction so you can have the cute. Got a few. He's got a few little wrinkles. to signify gloves. And I'm just playing with the hand a little bit. One of the nice things you can do with digital art when you're doing digitally is futz around with it a bit more than you could. If I was doing this analog, I would definitely want to have a better idea, a more solid idea of what I was doing, so I'd spend maybe a bit longer in the sketch phase, but as I'm doing it digitally, I can kind of mess with it live until I get exactly what I want. I can erase and undo I can erase and move around the inking lines in a way that I couldn't if it were analog and I had to just live with whatever I made. So then we're gonna add like a fine little seam line here again to signify gloves. Yeah. Just a slight adjustment to the knuckles. There we go. Ta-da! Gloves. Alright, and let's see. I think we're ready to tackle Mortimer. Boop. Boop. Rat eyes. Rat snoot. So are Mortimer's colors what I have in the reference photo here? Pink ears, white fur. Yes, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I used to carry my rat around on my shoulder a lot as well. Cling with his cute little claws, his little hands. Let's see. There. All right. One rat familiar. Do-do-do. Find the far sleeve there quick so I can also give Mortimer his tail. Ta-da! Rat tail. Yeah, apparently rat tails bother some people. Which I never really got, but so Something to note about Fiammata and Mortimer. Fiammata is partially blind. She can see movement and light, but not fine detail. Mortimer guides her hands. Oh, that's fun. Might have to check out this book series. He knows her town and workplace will have to move around, but doesn't do well in the dark. Yeah, makes sense. That would also explain why she's a little cautious around people. It's kind of a vulnerable place to be. Okay. Gonna add one little down like so. Just for a little bit more interesting depth and stuff. And I like the, and I like kind of the beads on the, and one of the references that CO sent me, so I'm gonna make sure I add that in here as well. Her quill and the vial. Second book is Arrow and the Ivy. All right. And a fellow Kickstarter person. So yeah, I will definitely have to check that out. So many blacks. Okay, all right. We're cooking, we're rocking, we're rolling. Excuse me. Thank you. As I mentioned, recovering from a bit of being sick this week. Let's see. Oh, fabric is fun. Let's see. Pouch. Because you can never have too many pouches. Fantasy characters are like 90s superheroes. Gotta have the belt with pouches. And same idea with the glove on this side. Oop. A few wrinkles. No, that's wrong. There we go. Sometimes I need to think about these things. Not the first artist to mention that hands is tricky. Although I did find it somewhat amusing. Man, it's easy for 3D artists. Let's say. I did find it somewhat amusing and heartening that the thing that AI art has the most trouble with is hands and faces a little bit. That amused me. I'm going to taper these the fingertips a little bit more. Because it's one of those little signals that broad and round fingers. I once had an art teacher tell me that the hands that I was drawing were too masculine. So it took me a while to figure that out, but yes, narrower and pointier fingers tend to look more feminine, and broader, rounder fingers tend to look more masculine. So there you go. Art tip for the day. You learn something every time. There you go. Because I'm here to educate as well as entertain. Okay. That's it. How do you feel about one of those bandoliers with like potion bottles on it? That seems like it sounds like something she'd have. Is it? Ah, yes. Sorry, the missed CEO said. Okay, that sounds good. All right. Familiar with Final Fantasy, you know about how many belts they pile onto some design. Yeah, I am in fact a fan of Tetsuya Nomura, the main character designer for Final Fantasies 7, 8, and 10. And yeah, I'm very familiar with the ridiculous amount of belts. In fact, gosh, I believe it was 10 when they had one character whose dress was literally all belts. Like it was just a dress made of belts. And that's kind of like, okay, I think we're, I don't know if he's like making a joke here or what, but yeah, yeah. But peak character design in Final Fantasy for me was 7, 8. I thought it was cool. They looked like in a they're cool. They're definitely unusual, but they were also kind of like looked like stuff that people would actually wear. You know, had a degree of functionality to them. Yep, yep, yep. Lulu, I believe, was the character's name. I say, yeah, yeah. If you ever need reference for belts gone amok, Lulu from Final Fantasy X was, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, Leon had a great jacket. Like, Cloud's design is again pretty straightforward, but also very functional. Again, it's just like, what is it? Would somebody actually wear this? Is this functional? Is this something that you could, like wear, like just doing your day to day stuff? Because I think is kind of the or somebody in this world would wear it doing their day to day stuff. I think that's kind of the what you call it, the standard you have to hold things to. It can it can look like a costume. It can still look unusual, but is this something that people would actually wear? Right. And I see all these people wearing the cosplays around the conventions and stuff like that, and having to hike this up or that up, and just kind of looking uncomfortable half the time. It's like, yeah, maybe not so much. All right, we're doing well here. That's right. Let's see. Let's talk about this center thing here. Well, thank you. I'm I'm glad you're enjoy. I'm glad you're enjoying this. I'm glad you're liking the results. Say we are just about to the coloring stage, so CO, let's see, what were you thinking in terms of colors for her outfit or her dress? Similar to what you sent me in the reference here, or did you have something else in mind? I see, like the example for the dress you sent me was lavender, but then she's got like kind of a pink and brown thing going on in the other reference photo. So yeah, let me know what you think. Yes, but shimmerier. Okay. Oh, so I'm sorry. So uh the lavender dress you sent me, but shimmerier. All right. Lavender dress, but shinier. Okay. Cool. I can work with that. Hmm. All right. And shoes. Because you need good shoes for when you're walking around collecting components for your potions. You need good walking shoes. Right. Oh yeah, and would you like me to incorporate a few of the? I see the lavender dress you sent me has some floral embroidery on it as well. Would you like me to incorporate that a little bit as well? Also, yeah, probably can. Cool. Mm-hmm. All right. Picking my colors. Picking my colors. Picking my colors. Picking my colors. My colors. My colors. Womp womp. There we go. Okay. It's pretty. Alright. Pretty on point there. And let's go with maybe darker accent for the darker color for the gloves and accent, or like the brown leather kind of thing from the other photo. Or artist choice. I'm not trying to make you do all the work for me here. I'm I'm feeling that a little bit. This looks great. Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. That's it. Yay. Go with that for skin. I might actually do this a touch darker. There we go. I'm liking more of the darker cold brown for her leathers and the warmer brown for her skin. I think that's a good balance. Zoop, zoop. And then stupid smoothing. Yeah, some Photoshop update. A recent Photoshop update apparently has it automatically turning the smoothing on whenever I select a certain brush, and it's like, and it's driving me nuts because I can always tell. It's like, correcting my lines? How dare you! That's as diva as I ever get. Ooh. Boop. Smooth this out a skosh. Alright, now. Vitiglio reference. Alright. So it's, yeah, there we go. All right, I think this will work. So yeah, then I'll just do a little spotty spot spot. There we are. All right. Ta-da. Okay. All right. Actually, I'm gonna go back to my ink layer here, cause I want to do and put some more stuff down here to get that here. There we go. There we go. Much better. Anyway, back to the color. When you color her hair, can you add some white streaks? I sure can. Oops, wrong layer. There we are. Ta-da. All right. And then, so I'm going to choose. Okay. So we're going to choose a actually slightly off-white color, like a 25% gray, to make that happen. And we're actually going to choose a soft round brush because it's rarely, when these things happen, when those gray streaks happen, they rarely kind of happen like, it's not like a ner. It's not a ner, you know what I mean, a ner. Like, it's not a hard line, it's a soft line. Alright. Okay. Of those, though she does have her hair into dreads. So there you go. How do we feel about that? Gorgeous, indeed. All right, let's see here. Boop, 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 boop. Stick that in there, and let's see. Boop, boop. We got these multicolored beads going on in her hair. There we are. All right. Excuse me. We're rocking, we're rolling, we're making arts. Boop. Mortimer's little pink ears. And his little pink hands. And tail. And let's see. Getting there, Skosh. Gonna overthink that a minute. Yeah, that's funny. Excuse me. I'm debating in my head about whether to make. I'm overthinking whether to make this buckle here gold or silver, and because that's just how I do. Thank you. Oh. Bronze? All right. Not a problem. Yeah, that'll work. Sometimes he just needs the input. Okay. Now these potion bottles. Let's see. I am going to employ a technique that I like to use when doing things under glass. So I'm going to select the area there. A little, contract that a little bit, so the selection is, got the little margin of error between there and the lines. And I'm actually going to select a color there, and then set my brush to 50%. So It's still coming in a little strong. So I might actually... Yeah, let's see. Might actually fade that out just a skosh. Dude. There you go. Although if I do that too much, it's just going to look like water, isn't it? Actually, no, let's leave it that color. And we'll go down here and do the similar thing. Contract, brush set to 50%, and do. And boop. There we go. All right. So that incorporates a bit more of the little kind of shades that you get when something. And then also, I'm gonna add like a couple little shapes here, little doodads here to imply our fingers on the far side of the glass. There we are. It's all about those little touches. And then, let's see. Maybe do the same up here. And let's see. There we go. Neat. All right. Let's see. Then we're going to tackle these bandolier ones. Need a red potion for health. Red potion for health. Pick that up, and then let's see. I don't know. Another purple potion. There we go. Boop. Yeah. And this one's going to be turquoise because I said so. All right. Now. All right. So I'm going to share with y'all a little trick I like to use. So as you can see here, okay, got all of our flat colors put down. But you can see if I take away the background layer, a lot of the places that were white are actually see-through. So like Mortimer here and the glass bottles and what have you. So when I go to do our cool background swishy swashy that I've decided is my signature thingy apparently. Let's see. Yeah, yep, it's going to show right through our little friend Mortimer there. So, in order to rectify that, but you can see it also has a bit of a. That's it. So to rectify that, rather than going through the trouble of putting in all of the zooming in and filling in all the little white bits, I'm going to create another layer here. Select the outside of the ink area. Make sure there aren't any little holes that I'm missing. Expand it a couple pixels. Inverse the selection. And hit. Oop, wrong button. Fill. There we go. And now, as you can see, Mortimer is a nice white opaque, as our hero's eyeballs and any other white bits in which that happened. But I was also noticing that I did enjoy the fact that this was see-through, the glass was see-through down here, so I am going to take my eraser tool, set that to 50% opacity, and just go swish. There we go. Behind the glass. And there you go. So now the glass retains that transparent quality, while opaque items like Mortimer get to be opaque. Ta-da! Learning stuff. All right. So with all that done, flat colors done, and everything, I'm gonna, let's see. I am going to scooch the whole affair over this way, because she's feeling a little off center. There we go. There we are. And then just going to tweak that little bit right there. Because I didn't. Ta-da. All right. All right. Now that we're done with that, let's do some shading. Gonna go into the shadows. All right. Oh, it'd be nice if you actually had the eraser. All right, so I'm gonna select a soft round for my eraser, and then my brush is gonna be a hard round, and then yeah, just gonna go in here and away we go. And then with the soft eraser, gonna kind of soften some of those hard edges. So like here, so for the side of her face, and then soften that up a skosh. Okay, maybe a smaller eraser. Oops, okay. And now, as always, I'm just going to go through and start picking out all of the shadows and, you know, those planes of the face. Giving it that dimensionality. And a little bit of shadow to the eyes. And the ears. And this is where I sink into Bob Ross mode. So for bigger shapes like this here, I'll use maybe a softer round brush to incorporate that as things turn. You get that, what am I trying to say? That turning away from the light kind of perspective, as opposed to, say, a cast shadow, like so. Ta-da. All right. Think. So as you can see, hard shadow for the underside of, say, her, it's not a corset, it's a cincher, I think. It's the technical name for it. But anyway, so yes, the underside of that, or the underside of the belt here, hard shadow, cast shadow. And basically the rule for that is like the closer the item is to the closer it is to the thing what casts the shadow, the harder the shadow is. Alright, so alright, get to play with fabric. Now, the real question is, do I okay? Ta-da. Ta-da? Question mark. This is what it's like being an artist, kids. So, did I do it? I think I did it. Is it done? I don't know. Take a step back, look at it. All right. It looks pretty okay. All right. Okay. It's just a lot, just a lot of talking to yourself. Let's say. It's just a lot of questions. Actually, kind of like that. All right. All right. All right. All right. Yay, thank you. Thanks, guys. All right. We're getting there. Some of the shadow down here. Shadows on the shoes. And then, all right. So now, all right. And last but not least, those highlights. So, I'm just gonna use, let's see here. Usually use just a straight up white, but since we have purple shadows, we're gonna see what, I'm gonna just do a little experimenting, bopping around here. Okay, yeah, I think I'm actually gonna use this yellow for for this baby duck yellow, I call it, for counter for highlights. And because it'll be a nice contrast to the more purpley shadows we've got over here. And I think will work better with the skin and purple and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, it'll just be a little bit more interesting, I think. And there we go. So just do selecting large areas here. Like so shimmerier. That's right, one. Shimmery. So we're just gonna add a few more. Okay. So maybe. There we go. There's our shimmery. You want shimmery? I got your shimmery right here. There we go. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, good. Wonderful, wonderful. All right. Mm. Gonna keep the so down here as well. Let's see. There. Soften some of those end points where the brush didn't terminate quite as well as I would have liked, but there you go. Excuse me. Shimmer. There we go. All right. 4 lights. There we go. And of course, on the face, the primary spots where the light hit are the cheeks, forehead, and nose. You know, so kind of exactly where you put your sunscreen. Cheeks, forehead, and nose. There you are. Okay. then, and of course the chest area as well. Okay, now last but not least, y'all know me, I like a good secondary light source. So that's not the one I wanted. There we go. And I like hitting that secondary light source because it just adds that little bit extra pop, little bit extra dimensionality. So I'm gonna just go through and then add like a little bit extra here. Here, there, everywhere. Oh, forgot the boots. How could I forget the boots? Give them a little nice reflective quality as well. Soften that a skosh. There we are. All right. Yay. All right. Cool, cool. Oh, and of course, we need our cinchy thing. There we are. Okie dokie. All right. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. I do say so myself. All right. Let's see. But we can kick it up a notch. All right. Oh, thank you, Sio. Mwah. Chef's kiss. I coffeeed myself. All right. But I think we can kick it up a notch. So, let's see. Just gonna peruse quick here my flower brushes that I got from Devin L, who is another fantabulous online artist whom you should all check out. Let's see. But these, I think, might be a little impressionistic. Not quite what I wanted for... Yeah. Okay. 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 Bushes, leaf? No. Beep, beep, beep. Yeah, not quite. Okay. What else we got? Yep, alright. Stamp. Could have sworn. Alright, you know what? You know what? Whatever. We're going to do it ourselves. Alright. So, going to boop-a-doop-a-doo. could have sworn I had rows. Boop. Okay. See, this is the problem with doing this for so long. I have all of these brushes, 90% of which I never ever use. And then when there's one I might want to use, I cannot find it. So, all right, what? Yeah, this is kind of where I'm at. It's like, oh, I got all these great brushes, and then when I want the brush, nowhere to be found. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're going to make our own flower pattern. Custom flower pattern just for CO. Let's see. We're gonna shrink it down, and we're gonna use our eraser to perfect it a smoosh. Just a smoosh. And then we're gonna warp it a bit. Then we're going to set our layer to multiply. And then we're going to copy paste a layer. And then we're going to do. And this is my copy pasting song. We're gonna leave them like that. And we're going to add a few more in like so. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. And we're going to duplicate. And we're going to add a few more in like that. And then we're going to flatten that out. And then we're going to duplicate that layer. This is my duplicating song. It isn't very long. Hey. Alright. There we go. Because that is a pretty dress. And that CEO sent me. And I love the little floral pattern that's the two-tone floral pattern that's built into it. So I'm gonna emulate that as best I can on a character's dress. Doop-a-doop-boop-boo. Guess it's not their character, but that's okay. It's their commission. Doop-a-doop-boop-boo. And I want to do a good job for CO. There we go. Alrighty, daddy. And oop, I'll deal with you later. I'm gonna trim that. Okay, then, oop, too much. And then we're going to do. Alrighty. Ta-da! Now we have flower pattern. A floral pattern. Embedded floral pattern. So, stuff like that. Alright. This is fun. Alright. And then, of course, last but not least, gotta add 25. Bada bing bang boom. All right, kids. I think. All right, I think we're done. I think we got it under control. And I think, oop, hey, got this far and didn't save it. Naughty me. All right. So glad you like it, CO. And this, of course, will be going out with your Concrete Arcanum rewards. That's what. That's when I get a crash. Yeah, right. Tempting fate a little bit there. I know better, but but yes. So yes, so yeah, this will be going out with your. You'll get a hard copy of this with your Concrete Arcanum rewards. Thank you so much for backing, and thank you so much for joining us today as we work on your commission. I'm so glad you like it. Going to be calling it a little bit early today, but that's all right. I got I got a lot of rewards to stick in packages and send out. So, yes, if you let's see. I don't think I have anything else to add. Thank you to everyone who joined us today. This is the last live stream of the year, but I will be back, I believe, January the. I don't know. I'll be back in January, and I'll post about it and everything. So, let's see. I hope everyone has a safe and happy holiday. Let's see, and got lots of fun stuff coming at you in the new year. So, happy holidays, happy New Year's to everyone involved, and until next time, be good, but not too good.